I spent 6 years trying to make money online, but I kept making the same mistake. I was learning everything and building nothing. So today, I'm creating my very first digital product from scratch and seeing if I can actually sell the thing. For the last 6 years, I did what most people trying to make money online do. I'd find a new opportunity, get excited, spend hours researching it, which is insane, and convince myself that finally this was going to be the thing. And everyone who makes content shows proof, screenshots, everything else. I'm not doing that because I'm not going to be your guru. We're going to be in this together. So the problem wasn't a lack of information. If anything, I had too much of it. Every creator had this strategy and that strategy. One person said, start a YouTube channel. Here we are. Another said, build a newsletter. I don't know how to do that. Someone else said affiliate marketing was dead. And then another person claimed affiliate marketing was easier than ever. And maybe you've done this too. You spent hours researching, you saved the videos, you take notes, you tell yourself you're learning, but at the end of the week, nothing has actually changed. And then eventually, I realized something uncomfortable. I wasn't building anything. I was consuming. I wasn't creating. I wasn't testing ideas. I wasn't putting anything into the world. So I decided to stop looking for the perfect online business. Instead, I picked one simple project, a small digital product. Nothing fancy at all. No giant course, no complicated funnel, just something useful that could help a beginner like you and me get started. So once I realized I had spent years consuming instead of creating, I made a decision. I wasn't going to spend another month researching. I wasn't going to buy another course. I wasn't going to wait until I had the perfect business idea. I was just simply going to build something. The problem was I had no idea what that something should be. Like most beginners, I thought I needed some genius idea that nobody had ever thought of before. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that that's not exactly what people actually pay for. People are out here paying for solutions. So I opened up ChatGPT and I started brainstorming. Not business ideas, problems. Because every successful product starts with a simple problem. And one problem kept showing up over and over again. People wanted to start making money online, but they were broke. They felt overwhelmed and they had no clue where to begin. That's when I knew what I was going to create. a beginner friendly guide designed specifically for people trying to start online with almost no money. So once I had the problem, everything started to move much faster, obviously. And the first thing that I needed was the product concept of the whole thing. So as you can see, this is my text prompt for ChatGPT. I just basically went over the things and explained that, hey, I'm an affiliate marketer who focuses in the wealth niche, because you have to have a niche once you get into these type of lanes of online income. And I was like, hey, I'm trying to create a mini digital product for my audience. What are 10 problems my potential customer in this niche are struggling with? And so I worked through naming ideas, positioning, and figuring out exactly who this guide was for. What I didn't want was another generic make money online ebook, because there's already like thousands of those. I wanted something more practical, something more simple, something that could actually help a beginner take action. Eventually, I landed on the title, The Broke Creator Playbook, and this is how we went through it. And this was more than a day or so of just creating this. So I had titles like this. There's titles like that. Well, no, these were the problems. These were the problems. But as you can see, the problem started to overlay like what your beginning title was. So let's get down to the next prompt. I did the, I will go with, I'm broke and need to start with almost no money. Give me top 5 names for digital product or digital guide product. And then as you can see through here, we went through all of this and actually looked at every title that you could think of through ChatGPT. And then that's how I got mine right there. And then we went all the way down into the next prompt was I'm going with number 1, the Broke Beginner's Online Income Starter Guide. Now create 5 subtitle and tagline ideas. And then it ran me through all of that. And so there we go. We're on to actually getting into building the online ebook itself. So this next prompt that I had, so I was like, I've already got a name and a subtitle. No gurus, no fake promises, just a starting point that makes sense. And I was like, now since that is finished and figured out, create a structure for this digital guide. Remember that it is a mini digital guide. I don't need any fluff, only dense information, which was really key right there. Only dense information that is actually solving the problem. So first, act as if you are a professional in the affiliate marketing industry and as an expert as well. Think about the top 3 strategies on how to find the best beginner startup guide. Once you have this figured out, create a structure or a simple 5 to 10 page digital guide. And that is how all of the content to my first online ebook started. And it runs you through everything. To what you get ideas for page 2, page 3, page 4, 8, 9, 10, and the final page call to action. That's what CTA means, if anybody was wondering. And then he just gave me an assignment. So I went in and created the actual first page of this, or the cover page to this online ebook. And so from creating the actual first page of this book, we went with Canva with all this, and I had a like a document sheet open, and as I was looking through all the names, I was looking to see what my title was and everything else. So I was building a build up to content of the book as I was researching and naming everything. So we had everything kind of just play by play right here until we actually went over here and found what that was going to look like. And so we went and we built it, and we actually made a whole online ebook through Canva using the Canva documents. The file size was 512 pixels by 800 pixels. So instead of creating that 50-page giant ebook filled with fluff, I managed to focus on one goal: help a complete beginner get moving. I mapped out the chapters, outlined the action step. I stripped out anything that wasn't useful, because you gotta research everything to make sure your stuff is actually pretty in tune with what you're putting into the ebook. So that makes it actually factual. And then it was time to actually build it. I jumped into Canva, as I said, designing each page, the cover, the color scheme, the layouts, the content, page by page, basically. The idea started turning into something real. And honestly, this was the moment things clicked for me. A few hours earlier, this project literally only existed as an idea, and now it has become something I could actually put in front of people. And all this was free, mind you. There was no expensive software. There was no team that you had to pay for. There was no fancy setup. It was just an idea, a computer, and the willingness to finally build something online. And as you can see, after I did that first one, I had the color scheme already picked out, as you've seen on the actual ebook itself. ChatGPT helped with all that. The fonts, the design style, the typography, the brand mood board decision as like visuals and stuff. So I basically was like, hey, I copied this down as close as I could, and it turned out pretty good. But now we need to start writing the ebook, and we need a table of contents and a context for the next 8 pages, as we discussed up above. And it just went down and filtered everything. So everything that was on here, basically, I put into that ebook. And my next one was, I need you to make a picture of what page 1 will look like, and when page 1 titles and subtitles are this. And I basically gave them the title and the subtitle, and it cranked out something like that. And then I just did that for the next 7-8 pages, and I finally had a completed ebook. So after a few hours of work, the playbook was finished, and for the first time in 6 years of trying different online business ideas, I had actually created something of my own. It wasn't a plan, not another notebook full of ideas like I'm used to, because I'll write until my brain's happy into a notebook about ideas or plans or business plans or whatever it could be of something that I'm trying to make money online for. but I had an actual product, something online, but not physically in my hands. And it was something that people could buy. And that's when I hit the part that scares most people, actually putting it out. And where we decided to put this out was Gumroad. And we put it in there. But instead of me just being like, oh yeah, hey, it's in there, I'm going to show you how to do it. So we're going to make a new product. It is going to be an ebook. You're going to put the name in it. And it's going to be your title found with Chat GPT, the ones that you discuss. You're going to put a price on it. I'm just using this as an example so we can run through this together. And then you're going to put next and customize. You're going to put the ebook's title. This is what it's going to look like on the side. You're going to put a description in there, as I did. And you can use that with ChatGPT as well. That's going to be your URL. And then you're going to put something simple as like your title, and then you're going to go into your cover image. So your cover image is going to be a little difficult. You can't just, I don't know, I mean you can, but it's going to look ugly. So what I did was I turned this, I had the main picture up front, and then I had two of the pages in the back of it. I made the title right there, subtitle. And then I was like, oh, it's $97, but today it's $25.99. And I put an arrow down to where you're going to download and build. So that's kind of how you did that. Also, that size on there is 128 by 720 pixels. Because when you upload that through here, this is what you're going to need right there. So that way it looks fluid and everything else. And then you're going to go down to put a thumbnail in there if you want to. Call to action. You can pick out whatever you want. The summary, the pages, you're going to put in how many pages it is, and then you're going to add the details. Integrations, you're going to leave those alone. Your pricings, you're going to leave alone. You can put different versions of this. And then you have all your settings, or if you have an online website already, you can put your custom domain in there and then tag it to your online store. And then you're going to save and continue. Then you're going to go into the content, and that's where you're going to download that PDF off of Canva, upload it there, and then your receipt, you can customize that. And then if you wanted to share it, you can go with that. But that is where we had placed the actual ebook on Gumroad. So at this point, the product was basically finished. As you've seen, we did the pages through Canva. The cover was done through Canva, and then you went on to Gumroad and listed it live. We both did, if you were following along. And honestly, that's where most of the beginner tutorials stop. They show you all these gurus and people on here that are influencers and everything. They show you how to create the product, and then they just stop. They don't actually show you how to get people to see it, because the truth is you can build the best product in the world, but if nobody knows it exists, you're not making any sales. You're not throwing it in front of people's faces. So the next question became, how do I get traffic to this thing without spending money on ads, or where you could put it that's going to be most feasible and most beneficial for the product to catch eyes. And that's where content creation of the product comes in. So when most beginners think about selling a digital product, they imagine just posting the link and then people just magically buy it. And that's not how it works. People don't buy products, they buy solutions to problems. So instead of trying to sell the ebook directly, I'd focus on creating content around the problem that the ebook would solve. For example, this ebook helps beginners start building online income when they have little money and no idea where to begin. That means my content could be things like mistakes beginners make when they try to make money online, free tools I would use if I had to start over, how I created this ebook from scratch, what I do with $0 if I was starting today, the biggest lie in the make money online space. Every piece of content points back to the same problem. And if people want the full roadmap, they can grab the playbook. The content attracts attention, the product solves the problem, and then that's the system. And you could do what I'm doing. You could have a YouTube channel, you could have a TikTok, you could advertise on Instagram with reels and little snippet posts. The amount of content that you could put online is endless. You could go to Facebook, you can go to LinkedIn, you could do it all. It's just, you have to have the right strategy to actually get your content out there in front of people's faces and actually get started with posting content and getting comfortable in front of the camera and everything else. And honestly, that's the biggest lesson I've had to learn through this process. Creating the product itself wasn't the hard part. It was the hard part is staying consistent, putting yourself out there, and giving people a reason to trust you. You have to build authority online. But for the first time in years, I've finally stopped researching and basically started building. So then this pretty much sums up on the how-to. We'll resort back until 24 hours after this is uploaded, and let's see if anybody buys it, and probably upload a short of it, and we'll go from there. So if you found value or took anything away from this video, just remember to subscribe, like, or leave a comment. Anything helps grow the channel and to start building a community. But otherwise, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.